All right. Hello. All right, guys. Appreciate your patience. So while we get set up and everything, obviously, welcome to the Akari Press channel. Uh, I am your host, Antonio Bryce. We are here. We are live, and in case you are wondering about me, I'm a comic book writer. I have this little thing right here that this is my first comic book that I published. It's called Brand. I'm shipping those out now. Uh, and I have the very generous person that colored that book, Mr. Kid Ikaris. And he is here with me. He is, hello, Ikaris.
How's it going? Glad to be here.
Let's see. But I am very happy to have you, Mr. Ikaris. It is fantastic. It has been a pleasure working with you over these last few years as we make all these horrible comic books and everything. So
It's been fun coloring that stuff. Good art, very good.
people like it, and I'm happy with how everything's been working out. So that's been good, man. It's like that's one thing I always get when people have read Brand. They'll be like, "Yo, man," they'll be like, "The colors on that thing are insane." So that's always a plus.
Definitely, I'm glad they like them.
Yes, me too, man. This I was like, I always wanted to pick your brain because I never know. I'm always curious how you come up with the ideas that you come up with and stuff, and how you, because sometimes when it was I'm always curious as to how you come up with a certain idea. It's like because you'll give me colors and they'll obviously be beautiful, but they'll be different than what I envisioned. And so
Yeah, it kind of depends on. I always try to make whatever it is pop. So if that main character is kind of, or if his power is like a blue, where I can, I try to put more oranges in there to pop them out. Using opposite ends of the spectrum there with the colors and whatnot. And then I try to do things that are not always used with the sky colors. I try to stay away from just a regular blue if I can. Try to separate different areas and make them distinct so that when you go back to different panels and it shows that color, you kind of get a feeling of where you're at.
I got you. Because like even what you got on your icon there, that's a Rob Willis variant for Dark Santana, for the Way of the Gun campaign, and that's always that one came to me, and you had to like I don't know, when I saw it, it was obviously it was gorgeous, and you had beautiful lines to work with and everything, but it came out differently than what I anticipated, I guess.
Yeah, on that one I tried to instead of like breaking it down and doing like the silver this and different colors, I tried to make it more pretty much all reds. I kind of like those covers that I've seen over the years where people get to use one color and just kind of vary the values of it, and I like those a lot. I don't have any. I can't think any in particular right now, but I know I've seen them over the years. And
yeah, that's why I was like, let me see. Dewan Patterson Powers, would you consider yourself comic? I am comic skate. I'm not sure where that. Yeah, I'm definitely comic skate. So, I mean, I've been in comic skate since 2017. So, I don't know. Mr. Ikaris might be a different story, but we've that's why we've always protected his anonymity so he could support us and do, because I don't know, we got some whack jobs out there that would try to make sure that some people would not be able to earn a living in the comic book industry for supporting CG creators as you have so generously been doing over the last few years. And obviously I appreciate that. Because it's been fun working with you. So I definitely like that. I mean, that's one thing I love about getting when we did the book, you know, all the pages came out just, I can't tell you how great everything turned out. I was ecstatic, you know, so everything, you know, the way the book turned out, it was beyond my wildest dreams. And then when we actually printed and it came out, so I was just like, wow, you know. So I know you got a few copies of Brand. I know I sent you some, and so when I sent it to you, what did you think when you actually got the books?
I thought they looked great. Sometimes you color stuff and then you get to see it printed out, and it's not quite as good as what you were seeing on screen. In this case, I feel like it even looked better. I can tell you spent the money on the good paper. The paper was legit. It's more legit than if you were to go to the comic and, you know, you could randomly pick 100 comics and you might get lucky to get that kind of paper stock on some of those. It came out really nice. That's probably one of my favorite books I think I've ever colored on. It came out really good looking.
Well, let me do some confession time. I was trying to go the cheap route on everything. So at that point, you know, it was getting time to actually print, and I was hearing how much it was going to take to ship everything. And so I did like the minimum on everything, like the cover stock was the cheapest, you know, and then the paper stock. And so the folks at Mix'em, they said, look, you got a really good book here. He's like, we've been going through your file. He's like, so let me give you some configurations that I think would work with the print that you have. And so he upped because I had the minimum was like a 70 weight on paper. And so then I you know, he increased it to like an 80 weight. And then the cover stock, I had minimum cover stock as well. I think I was going to do like an 80 weight on the cover. So I was going to do like 70 paper wise, which is like the thinnest. And then the 80 weight on the paper, which would have been very flimsy. And then so he upped the pages to 80, and then the interior pages, and then he did the cover. The cover itself was up to 100 weight, and then he put like, you know, he added like a UV gloss to it and all this kind of stuff. And they sent me a sample pack, and that stuff it looked really nice in the sample pack that I got. So I was just like, okay. I trusted him, and, you know, he gave me the new total, how much everything was he was like, look, he said, it's going to add some to your costs. But I looked at it, and if, you know, the shipping was the same, so I was like, okay. So I spent the extra $200. And when I got the books, I was like, oh, I'm glad he talked me into spending. You know, it's like when you go buy a car and stuff, and you're like, I was like, I just want a used car. And then next thing you know, you're driving off with the newer model that you didn't intend to, you know, do. So yeah, he upsold me. But when I got the books, you know, that would be the thing. So let's see.
Yeah, they came out real good. They're really nice.
Let's see. A coach, I'd like to see the book in print someday. Well, the good thing is I've been shipping books out. So if you ordered book one, you know, I don't know when your particular order is or what your particular order is, but I am shipping books out. I mean, there's people in this chat that have the book now. So there's at least 2 that I know for a fact have the book. So, you know, so people are getting the book. So it is what it is. I mean, I'm shipping them. I'm definitely shipping them. So you will get to see the book in print. I have my warehouses in my living room. That's one thing I've noticed as I've been shipping over the last few weeks. You know, I had a lot more boxes, and I'm starting to see like my Gemini mailers and all that kind of stuff. Well, there's my man Boogie Bentley. I know. Well, he's shown it on the air a few times. So, that's it. So, I mean, I'm right in the middle of the back. Well, I mean, like I said, I am shipping them. So I mean, there. I just had to get to you. When I get to you, you will get your book, and I'm hoping. So far, I have not had anyone tell me that their book got mangled. Although one person showed me. Well, there's a third person that had the book. So okay, yeah. So like Fatty, you got your books, didn't you? You received your actually Fatty is you colored Fatty, Mr. Ikaris. He plays our vampire character in Brand.
Oh, nice.
The vampire that got his arm chopped off and stuff.
You got a big part in there. You got some sweet panels in that book, actually.
Yeah. He got because that's one thing I will say. Yes, Fatty is a very nice person by the name of Michael, and he was a generous backer, and he bought our cameo in Brand tier, and he got hooked up in there. But it was just I told him because it was just I had this character had already existed. And I was trying to tell, they were just supposed to be like cameos. Like a lot of the other people that bought, they just got to be in a panel. I was like, okay, draw this person. Because I knew when we got to the auction scene that there were going to be a lot more people there. So at that point, I was like, okay, well, we can put, faces in the crowd and stuff like that. And that would allow us to pull this off. Because I knew when looking at the script, I was like, okay, when we get to that point with Kanan, I can start, I had to be on him. I was like, okay, Kanan, we're going to need to put these backers in these scenes. And he was like, oh, okay. And then, we were getting closer and closer. And I was like, hey, man, just, we got to put these backers in. And so when he gave me the original page that had Michael in it, it was a different person standing there at the auction. It was right there at the table. And there was a different person. And I was like, why didn't you draw? I said, I think Mr. Magic Mike there would be a perfect person to play our vampire character. And he said, well, I've already drawn it. And I was like, yeah, but I was like, you can erase that person's head and change, shape it up a little bit. And so at that point, he went back. He's, Kate came like, okay, give me a second. He went back in, because I sent him this folder. I had gotten pictures of all the backers. I'm contacting them, and some of them didn't. It took them a while to answer me back. I was like, you spent, the money get drawn in the book, and you're not answering the emails back. So it was very frustrating. But then finally, I got everybody. I got everybody to answer me back. So I was like, okay, I'm hearing from you now. So they contacted me back. Bam. Okay. So at that point, when I heard back from them, I was able to, send all that to Kanan, and I sent you the information as well, so that you would know what they look like or whatever, But you did. Everybody that's seen it, they were very happy. So I just, you did a great job with book one, and the pages you've been doing for book two have been turning out pretty darn good. So you're actually almost caught up to Kanan on colors, by the way. So
close.
Yeah, you're getting there. He's moving along, but you're getting close. You're about to be. You might. Well, hell, I wish I could say you could pass him, but you can't.
Never.
You can't pass him. Yeah, maybe if you go into the future, and you could grab his pages and stuff. So yeah, man, that's one thing. But yeah, the new pages have been really, really cool. And that was like, let's see, Big Daddy's Juicy. Oh man, I was tired last night. I was like, I fell asleep on the air. That was not good. We were streaming AEW Double or Nothing. and the wrestling paper. So we all bought the pay-per-view, and then so we were just like watching it live and commenting on all the power slams and all this good stuff. And it was, but I was exhausted because I had been trying to yeah, my back was locking up. That's one thing about, I have to sit in these hard chairs and pack these boxes all day. So I'm sitting on, let me get this, let me get these comics packed up. Let me do this, let me do that. And then I was just like, God, my back was locking up. And then, so I hopped into bed, and then, it's just like the sleep came over me while they were, people, they thought it was a rib at first. They thought I was putting out. I was like, and Boogie, I told Boogie, I was like, no, it was real. I actually passed out 3 times. Yeah, I got a little tired there. So it is, 3 times. So I've heard enough of it, Boogie. I'm sorry. I passed out. I apologize to you. But it was still a fun show. I was up at the beginning of the stream and I was up at the end of the stream. But let me get. My back is. It happens. Okay, so Coach, let me see. For Ikaris, as a secret insider, how are the pros handling the pencils down situation with 3 major publishers going belly up? Ooh, that's interesting because you do other work professionally. So how?
So as far as my own experience goes, not as much work on that end, particularly during these times. It seems like they've stuck with their main guns for who they've got, and I've actually seen, and this is not this is me just kind of going on Facebook and looking around at other people that I don't know personally, but it seems like a lot more people are putting out portfolio work online that I normally would have seen working on books and whatnot. I don't know if that's 100% across all publishers and so forth, but I've seen a few people on there shooting some stuff out that I normally wouldn't see somebody putting out a portfolio for any work. So I would say it's definitely tighter currently, for sure. So hopefully once everybody gets back on the diamond train, or however they're going to start doing whatever other publisher, whatever means of publication they're going to use, hopefully more work becomes available on that end.
Let me see. Are you still shipping it? Yeah, I'm still shipping. Matter of fact, send me a DM. Let me look. I'll look up your particular order and I'll see what's going on with it, because you never know. It may have got. I don't know if you got a tracking number or not. But again, I'm sure your name is not pristine, so I'll have to look it up. I'll have to, that's why I was like, yeah, send me a on the twatter there. Send me a DM. And I'll pull it up and see what's going on with it. I got getting ready for obviously the mail is closed tomorrow because of Memorial Day, but they are back open Tuesday morning. So I'm getting the next shipment ready to go Tuesday. So I'll be shipping out. But yeah, I'm definitely still shipping. I just haven't shipped yours out. But yeah, send me a DM with your backer number and I'll look into it and I'll check, see what's going on. It might be out there floating in America. I shipped some one thing I did notice, I shipped some books international, and I was hoping that they had maybe left our country, and like books. There were books I shipped like 3 weeks ago, and I've been checking the tracking numbers on them, and they're still here in the U.S. They're not in Tennessee anymore, but they're in Chicago. Or one is one I shipped to Australia, and it's in Chicago, and then there's another one, and there's another place in like Iowa or something. They got these fulfillment centers or whatever. I guess like they take it to you to make, because I noticed just looking on the tracking information, once they scan the number, it goes to Nashville, and then they send it to like the big place in Memphis. So it goes from Nashville to Memphis, and then they disperse it to whatever place. Like I shipped one to Hawaii, and Hawaii's in the U.S., but it was different, So it was like Hawaii took like 3 weeks to get there. But like I said, I understand it's not one of the mainland states, but I just thought the shipping would go a little quicker since it's actually in the, it's, yeah. So that's, I was sitting on, I was like, damn, Hawaii's in the U.S. But again, I understand they got to get on a boat or a plane or whatever, and they got to. So, but it did actually finally get there. The package I shipped to Hawaii actually got there. Well, I should have coupled to Hawaii, actually, noticing, but it took a little longer than I thought it would for a U.S. state. But I guess that's because they having to. I don't know what all is going on with the so-called pandemic or whatever. So I don't know exactly what all is happening. So that is, let me see here. Awesome. I know things to take time when you run, so I just want to make sure I wasn't lost. I'll send you an email with my background. Okay, good. Do that, and I'll look you up there and figure out what's going on. Because that's one thing. I actually had someone contact me, and they go, Antonio, I thought you and Kanan were shipping the books out. And I'm like, Kanan ain't here shipping books out with me. The only person shipping these books out is me. Kanan was here signing comics. Kanan was here for a whole week. He was here for 7 days. He signed 3,900 copies of Brand. And, when he did that, and then he hopped on a plane and flew his ass back home. So he is not, it's not like I don't have, and I see other people there like, yeah, me and my wife and kids, we were all packing comics together. I don't have no wife. There's no kid. There's no girlfriend or third cousins or any of that stuff sitting here packing these books with me. I've been, when, I got my computer set up and, I've got like a little packing unit set up in my kitchen. I've got stuff all around me so I can just throw everything in the packages, and that's how I'm doing it. So, and then I'll get a pile and, put it up on my dolly and try to, fill up, I've got a couple of little boxes that, they hold like about, 50, 60 packages, fill that one up. And then I'll move on to the next one and try to fill that one up. And then I'll take it to the post and then rinse and repeat. That's what I've been doing. So, but I'm the only one sending these packages out. And I think people, and another thing I've noticed, I think people are, they don't realize how many actual people back Brand. We did $78,000, right? So, there are campaigns that did over $100,000 on Indiegogo, and they have 400, 500, 600 less backers than I have. So it's, we had, 2,488 transactions. And, that's one thing I know, because the book was priced so cheaply that I sold a lot of copies that, other campaigns that are priced at like the $25 rate. Obviously, we went up on the price on Way of the Gun, so it's like, I'm happy to see, that, we're getting close to crossing 22,000 on Way of the Gun. So I'm real happy about that. And, we've got some stuff that we're adding to the tiers, and, but I mean, hey, that's what, you Ikaris, you're one of the people, I've had people wanting to speak with you or whatever, and, and wanted to see about the process and all this kind of thing. So I don't know. How do we work together, Mr. Ikaris? Just kind of.
I think we work pretty good together. I mean, the process between us, I mean, you send the script, then you get a feel for what's going on in the panels. And if you have some type of vision, that you want to see with something, you let me know. And if there's a likeness, you shoot over the likenesses for the backers that hit those tiers.
Yes.
Making sure the likeness is good. If I do something wrong, you tell me, which is good.
I hate that, though. I hate because Mr. Sticky Icky, I do love you. I love you very much, and you're one of my favorite people on the planet. And but sometimes like we actually, to anybody that bought the brand director's commentary, there was that one part. We talked about that one panel where Mr. Ikaris had colored. It was the transformation in the early part of the book where Penance turns into the car, and
Oh yeah.
the original, yeah. And so you colored the page, but it was you made it a nighttime scene, and I mean, boy, you went all out on this page. This was one of the greatest pages. I just, oh my God, it was so beautiful. But the book took place, like all the pages in the scene, to like all the especially David's sequence, they all took place in the daytime. The auction, all that kind of stuff. So I was like, it's daytime. He's out there beekeeping, and then so he gets the call and the whole thing. And yeah, I didn't actually, that's one thing I'm learning now, especially I'm about to within the next few days, hopefully send the final revised script, because I have to get Kanan. I have to get Kanan the rest of the pages. Is the stuff I've been writing, I'm really happy with it though. I think the way I'm ending Way of the Gun is pretty cool. And then it'll kind of, I don't know, I'm thinking like more Empire Strikes Back, where you kind of leave us heading in a certain direction, and then the next book will be called Rain, and then we'll have some stuff. But the stuff that, like, there's a 10-page sequence that Kanan is working on now. I'm supposed to, he's supposed to be getting me the layouts and all that kind of stuff. But we're gonna see more Dawn. It's gonna take us all over the place. We're gonna see Dawn like in her past, and we're gonna see Dawn in the future. We're going all over the place. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing how you interpret those pages, actually, because I know Kanan's really excited to be drawing. And I actually was talking about that when Kanan was here. I was explaining to him how that sequence was supposed to go down. I was like, okay, well, this is gonna happen. And he's like, and I can always tell when I've at least written something that will pique his interest, because his eyes it's like when you're telling a kid a good story, like when you're younger, and like you're sitting around, it's like in this story time or whatever. And I was like, I remember I was explaining to Kanan, I was like, oh man, boom, boom. And it was just I was, oh my goodness, it's like I was explaining. I was like, okay, so this happens, and he was like, oh man, that sounds really cool, man. He's like getting excited for some of the stuff. That's one thing I've mentioned to people, because they were like, why is Dawn pregnant on the cover? Why is this on this side? And there are no random covers. I did not just have things happen. That is well, hold on, let me see what's going on here. Like, we just found out about your work. Talented. We follow many artists. Well, welcome. Please. Yeah. I wish I could draw, but I'd like to think I have very talented. I know I have very talented team members that work with me on these. Now, I think of all this stuff, though. All this stuff comes from my mind. I'm very proud of that. And yeah, that is. But we're about to. Matter of fact, I wanted, some people have seen this on Twitter, but let me. Ikaris had sent this to me the other day, and matter of fact, I'm working on a backer update, because I want to send a backer update out before, as we go into Memorial. But this is the cover for the Fame book that Kanan did did the pencils and the inks on this. He showed me the layout, and I was like, yeah, that's the cover. So, and then I sent this over to Ikaris, and we collaborated. But I didn't have to give you too many notes. You seem to understand what I was going for. So you did a good job here, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah, this one's pretty straightforward. with the way that it was drawn, kind of what the goal is. I think it came out pretty slick. I like this one a lot.
Yeah,
it was a fun one.
Oh, dude. One thing I noticed, like I know I tweeted this out, and I got a bunch of messages like, "Hey, when I backed the Way of the Gun campaign, I didn't get the Fame book," and I was like, it was there as an add-on, and they were like, "Yeah, but I didn't want it." And then I saw the cover, and now I want it. And I was like, so I had some people, and they refunded, and then they backed it because I had a couple people say, "Hey, I saw something I wanted instead. Can you refund?" And then I'll reback, and so then they add, because I don't know, I guess people weren't sure whether they were going to want this or not, and then they seen the cover and they were like, "Whoa." But I've been showing Demetrius's interior art. That is just, I've been showing Demetrius's and Demetrius have been his pages have been, because I actually wanted you to color the Fame book. And, your schedule was just so booked up, and you let me know. And I started looking around for different colorists, and I happened to see Igor Bondar. And Igor, just, my goodness. Igor, he's not, here's a secret about Igor. He wasn't a comic book colorist. He was just an artist. And he had some stuff on DeviantArt. And it was all digital stuff, and you could tell, but he colored it all himself. And I go, he has a very interesting eye. It was like, I would love to get someone like that. I would love to get someone like that to work on my book. He's in Poland, and I was surprised. I was like, you know what? Igor is incredible. So, I was thrilled to be, have him with us and, work on the project with him. So, he accepted, because at first he was just being honest. He was like, "Look, I've never worked professionally as a colorist before." But he said, I would like to see, he said, I'll tell you what, he said, let me just color. He said, send me some pages or something. He said, you could pick one and I'll color it. And if you like my work, then we can discuss. And I said, okay. And I sent him, I had the first 3 pages of the Fame book, and Demetrius had sent him, he was working on some more. I sent actually a couple of colorists, and I sent him, the first 3 pages, and he's like, well, which one do you want me to color? I said, color page 2, which I actually own page 2. I bought page 2 from Demetrius, because it was just, it's got really cool facial expression. Matter of fact, let me see. I think I have it pulled up. Let me see if I have it. I want to show, because Igor just killed that. And oh yeah, I do have it. Let me see. So I'm gonna pull some of this stuff up, and yeah. But Igor is extraordinarily talented, and I thought that was a huge find for us to be able to have him on the book, because I was like, I've noticed he's coloring things in a different way. Matter of fact, I need to get him on, but yeah, I actually own this page here. But this is, what do you think about that, Mr. Ikaris? I don't know if you see it.
Yeah, I see it. Can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
I thought I was muted for a second. Now it looks pretty good, and then they go on, and I've seen a couple of the other pages, and it just gets more detailed and better. I think he works over Demetrius's art pretty good.
Yeah. That's I think
they match up well together.
Yeah, when I saw this, the only thing I had an issue with Igor with was and this is actually something that I noticed when you first started coloring Brand. Getting the skin tone of the characters the right way.
Right.
Yeah, because I noticed we had kept going, I was like, yo, can you lighten this person up or this person? It's like it's like that kind of thing. So he had Wither, and she was too dark at first, and then I was trying. Once he found the right skin tone though, because everything else was colored beautifully. I was like, yeah, he's got the, he did, because I gave him a digital copy of Brand, so that he could look. And I was pointing out to the pages. I was like, well, this is where, you know, you could see, because this part of the book takes place like, if you saw what happened with Wither and David in book 1, you know, she kind of, you know, she went somewhere, and then so now we're finding out where she went. So, you know, she comes in, and you know, the whole thing. I thought she, you know, I wanted to pick her up. You know, people are like, why is Wither in the Fame book? Well, you'll have to find out. You know, it's like she, you know, but Wither's in the Fame book. Jin Yang is in the Fame book. You know, obviously Fame is in the Fame book. So, and as a matter of fact, I have not shared this with anyone, but Dawn will be in the Fame book. You know, that is, Dawn will be in the Fame book. She'll have a little cameo there at the end. Demetrius is like halfway through the book already. So he's like, he's already done 10 pages. He hit me up this morning. He's working on page 11 now. And we should have maybe another month, and I'll have, you know, I should maybe have all 24 pages, which is incredible. You know, Demetrius is killing the game right there. So that's, yeah, I mean, I'm really, you know, like I said, I'm blessed, and we've sold, I know on the Way of the Gun campaign, we've sold almost 200 copies of the Fame book. So it's like almost half the backers have picked it up. And you know, I had one of the backers go, hey, you should add a perk, because it was always, all the Fame books I sold, the only way to get it was either by buying the mega pack, which is the mega pack had all the covers, because some people's like, I want all the covers. And so it's like, you can get all the covers, the 5 that are listed, and then there's a 6th one that's exclusive to the mega pack that Kanan is actually working on the layout for that now. I will give a hint, because people are like, hey, what's the other cover going to be? The other cover is going to be David versus Dawn. That is going to be the cover for the mega pack. And, you know, so I explained to Kanan what I wanted, and I think it's going to be really cool. So I'm looking for, matter of fact, I've got some ideas on that I want to run by Mr. White. I know you will bless it with a very, you know, been blessed with the, I was like, okay, let me see here. I have all the books you should. I did not see my copies yet. Plus, I have been out of the YouTube loop. Okay, no. I have not, Aaron. I have not, but I have not shipped all the books yet. There's a lot of books, but you know, one thing I have noticed, though, I've been kind of keeping a track as I've shipped books down from all the books that I had to bring in. I have personally shipped about 600 or 700 copies of Brand, but I mean, some of that's been like triple cover packs and 10 packs and five packs and twin packs and stuff, you know. So, but just all the boxes that I've broken down as opposed to what I had originally. Yeah, I've shipped like over 600 something copies of the book out. So that's, I mean, you know, that's kind of scary. But my goodness, yeah, you know, that is really, really cool. So it's like, but I'm looking forward to getting this next shipment out. It'll do what, Tuesday morning. I'm working on the, matter of fact, when we get off the air here, because this isn't going to be a long stream. I just figured we go an hour or so. And, you know, Mr. Ikaris was kind enough to agree to come on and kind of hang with us and stuff. And so I kind of wanted to do this stream with him and kind of talk about, you know, what's been going, you know, I just needed to, you know, I'm tired of looking at the comic books. So I just took a little breather. But the next, you know, I'm going back to packing actually. So when we get done with this stream, I'm going back to packing. I'm going to be packing through the night and getting everything ready, you know. But it's yeah, that's I've got a nice little stack that I'm getting ready to bag and board and do all that kind of stuff, you know, just get everything. It's this part of it, like I said, when I go through my little shipping list, I go, man, I did not realize how popular the book was, how many people bought it, so that's, I guess I should be thrilled with all the success that we've had, though. So
I think they'll be happy once they finally get it. I know sometimes it's a bummer if it's late, but once you open it up and you get the cover in your eyes, it's awesome, really, really good. It's one of my favorite covers out of all of them. The main one with the with the bees and whatnot coming out of the front. That's cool.
Yeah, but you know what? I've that's one thing. The Manasseh cover turned out. The print on that turned out. I wasn't surprised. I was curious how that was going to print. Because he didn't do that. He did it with like acrylic markers and what he told me what kind of the art pencils that he uses and all this kind of stuff. He did it, and I bought the original art from him, so it's hanging in my bedroom, the Manasseh cover. Speaking of which, matter of fact, let me show these because I haven't added these to the campaign yet, but I'm going to show these, and you guys are going to get an exclusive here. So okay, so hold on, let me let's hold on. Before I do that, let me get this one because I know. Just notice your line. How far along are you in shipping out books from? I don't know. I've shipped out about 600 some odd copies. I've still got now as far as individual orders. I know I've still got probably about 1,800, but that's out of nearly 2,500 that I have. So I mean, that's what it is. So I'm going and I'm getting the next shipment to go out Tuesday morning. But I've noticed that when I get that question, though, you want to know when your copy is coming. So what I would ask you is to send me a DM. Let me pull up your order and I will see where I am on the shipping thing on that, because I've got a list already pulled up of what I'm going to be packing tonight. You might be on that list. If not, like I said, send me a DM on the Twitter there, or send me an email with your backer number. Let me pull it up. But like I said, I've already got my list of what I'm going to try to get through tonight. I'm trying to work on some of the people that ordered the t-shirts, because I'm getting some of the t-shirt back. I'm trying to ship some of those bigger tiers out because I know all the original art pages. Kanan shipped all those out. I got in touch with all those backers, sent all those tracking numbers out, and then I'm shipping their comics. The comics are shipping separately, so I had to let them know that. So when the art page shows up and they go, wait a minute, I didn't get my comic. So I was like, yeah, those are coming because Kanan lives 500 miles away from me. So because Kanan lives 500 miles away from me, he has the art, I have the books. So he's shipping the art, which again, if you bought the original art tier, you should have gotten an email from me. It'll be separate from the Indiegogo email that you get when I've actually packed and shipped your order. But if you back the original art tier, you should have a tracking number, whether you are in the U.S. or international. We shipped all of them. All the original art pages have been shipped, but the comics are shipping separately. I'm working on those. I'm working on shipping. I've got like 200 t-shirts that I got to ship out still. I've shipped some t-shirts out, but I haven't shipped all of them. So I've been trying to work those down and I want to get all these boxes out of here. I want to get all this stuff out. But yeah, so let's see. Okay, here we go. Let me see here. Colin McAdam, I just got that t-shirt. Good to know they're coming separately. Okay, so I got the t-shirt. The t-shirt, it will come with your comics, hopefully. If not, I'll have to ship it separately. I was like, here's one thing I noticed. I shipped to a backer, and then his name came up on my list again. And I said, wait a minute, I shipped to this guy. And so I pulled it up, and I realized the dude had ordered, he had backed 3 or 4 different times. So I was like, okay, so that made me switch up how I was doing it, because now I have to like kind of do a search to make sure, because I want to, obviously, if you ordered like 3 or 4 different packages, I want to try to get it all shipped in one package, as opposed to, okay, well, you ordered 2 shirts, you ordered 2 comics this time, you ordered a twin pack, okay, you ordered a triple cover pack, oh, you do blah, blah. And so I was like, let me get all of it in one package and ship it to you, so I'm not having to go back and repack. Because like when I send that fulfillment email, I want you to have everything. So matter of fact, I emailed the one guy this morning. I was like, okay, I noticed you got like 3 or 4 other orders. So that's another one. He's, that's sitting on the table now. So I gotta, when I get done with this stream, he's one of the ones he's got like 8 more comics coming to him. So I only shipped him 1 comic. And then I realized he got all these other, and I was like, okay, so let me go back. And this next shipment he's about to get is going to have everything else he ordered. So that's, okay. Well, that's Blue Spectre. That's why I sent out the PDF, because I've had people go, well, I just want to read the book. And I go, that's why I sent out. And then some people, I had some people write me the other day and they go, I didn't know you sent out the PDF. And I go, yeah, I sent it out a couple months ago because I knew it was going to take a minute to fulfill all the books. So they were like, well, can I get the digital? And I go, yeah. And I shot them that and they go, okay, cool. And they read it and they liked it and they were like, okay, cool. So yeah, because I wanted people to see that there was a actual, the book was completed. Because I had so many people. That's one thing that's been kind of frustrating. I had so many people and they would tell lies on the campaign. They would say, oh, Kanan quit the book. This is going on, that, it's like, oh, Antonio spent all the money. Different things were going on. And yeah, I mean, yeah, we spent the money, but we spent the money on a physical comic. We did spend the money. So I'm not denying that, yes, the money was spent, but we did we used the money responsibly. I paid Ikaris. I paid Rage Graphics, my letterer. I paid Kanan, obviously. I paid Amanda Lamella, who is our editor, and she is editing the other books as well. And I used some of the money to pay Kanan so that he could start working on Way of the Gun. And then, I bought the T-shirts and the book, the bookmarks and the card and all the prints and all the other stuff that goes. Yeah. So yes, I did spend the money. But I spent the money on stuff for the campaign. But then when they're saying I spent the money, they're saying like I like cocaine and hooker weekend, which did not happen. It's like it's sometimes I'm in a chat room, especially on YouTube. Like I've been watching Ethan stream a few times, and someone will mention that, hey, I don't have my brand, and then I'll see somebody, well, I got my copy. So it's like, some people, and to those people that are getting that already have their copies, because that really helps. I appreciate you guys going, hey, Antonio did ship me my book, I got it. So I appreciate you guys speaking up, because that lets people know, okay, I'm not out here, because it's I've always found that kind of hard. I was like, when you get accused of being a scam artist or something like that, because I was like, so that's one thing I love, like when people get their packages on Twitter or whatever, and they go, hey, Antonio, I got the book. Bam, that's good right there, because I'm shipping them out. So when the Postal Service delivers what you paid for, I love that. That's the best medicine on the planet right there. That solves it, because I just haven't shipped your book out yet, but I will get you. I promise. I'm committed to shipping every single package out. I cannot wait for you to get your book. I'm excited, and I hope when you get it that you are excited and you want to read it 50 times. I hope that is the case. Okay, but because we're getting close to the hour mark here, and I'm going to get back to work, but I want to show I've got these little goodies that I'm going to add to the Indiegogo. So let me show these. There are only 5 of these. Okay. So I reached out to Manasseh Johnson and I hired him to do 5 sketch covers for me. So, okay, here we go. So there's one. This is Dark Santana by Manasseh, as you can see here. He signed them. So yeah, this is a Dark Santana sketch cover from Manasseh. One, okay. And so then I've always had people asking me, like, if you could cast Bran like as a movie, who would you have? So I had him go through, and I wanted him to do a series of characters for the book. So here is Snoop Dogg as Fame. Boom. So this is Snoop Dogg as Fame, as you can see. Again, these are by Manasseh Johnson, the incredible artist that has been in like Source magazine and all this kind of stuff. So let me see. Okay, I've got another one. Okay. So the character Tobias Stone, that is a member of the Covenant. He works with Lionel Solomon. I cast Peter Dinklage as Tobias Stone. So here you go. And as you can see, Manasseh just killed this. So this is Peter Dinklage as Tobias Stone. And then, okay, now these are, people seem to I've showed these to a couple people and they love these. Okay, so I based Lionel Solomon originally when I got when we were coming up with the character concepts, because I was trying to explain to Kanan what these characters look like, and I based Tobias Stone. I told Kanan that I wanted not Tobias. I wanted Lionel Solomon to look like the wrestler Bill Goldberg. So Manasseh, here it is, Bill Goldberg as Lionel Solomon. So boom. And I mean, I love these. I'm almost going to hate getting rid of these. And now, the final one. Who would I have play Dawn? Dawn is, I'm so, I think about Dawn all the time. She is my baby. She is my masterpiece. So I was a big fan of Sophie Turner on Game of Thrones. So Manasseh took Sophie Turner, and this is Sophie Turner as Dawn on this sketch cover. So what we're going to do, there's going to be, like I said, there's only 5 of these. So they're all one of a kind. And if, you guys have followed me since I mentioned, since Manasseh did that cover for me, his waiting list is extensive. It was, matter of fact, if I hadn't already done a couple things for him, he gave me, I've got his, it's, you're right. Well, Blue Space, but that's why I didn't do, that's actually why I didn't do a David Craven cover, because David Craven is me. I had, some people freaked out about that. Some people read the book and they go, wait a minute, Antonio's actually cast himself as the character in the book. And I've always said that David was me. I've always said that. But people were shocked to see it. They were like, I thought you were going to have like a cameo or something. They thought I was doing an Alfred Hitchcock, where I was just going to pop up in there for like a panel or something. And then, it's like, oh, he had Kanan draw him in the book.
You're doing the Clooney.
Yeah. So that's not what happened. It was always my intention for David to look like me, but then he turns into the alpha. When he turns into the alpha form, that is, I guess, myself in a more idealized form. He's taller. He's got muscles, and but that's kind of something, and we'll play with that more as the story goes on. But yes, I actually did think about, I was like, should I have Manasseh draw me on one of the sketch covers? But I was like, no, I wanted to take some of these Hollywood stars and have them, because again, you saw the covers, they look incredible. I'm really excited. Like I said, I'm going to add that tier probably within the next week or so. I'll add it. But let me see. Jay Gentile, I got my copy of Brand, amazing looking issue. I've decided for book. Well, okay, that's good. That's what I'm saying. I appreciate when you guys get your books, because that's one thing. I've seen people, like I said, well, I've been on like Ethan's stream or something like that, or been in the chat and people saying stuff, and then it's good to see people speak up and go, "Hey, I got mine. He is shipping them." So I was like, that really helps, because it's one thing for me to go, "Hey, I'm shipping the books out." It's another thing for some random person that they know I don't know to go, "Hey, he actually shipped my book out. I have it. It's at my house." That speaks volumes right there. So when Mr. Gentile was not paid so for that. He just volunteered that information, but I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying so. So yeah, that always speaks volume when someone lets people know, hey, so I appreciate when people are tweeting at me like, "Hey, Brand just came up to my house, so thank you, Antonio." So I am definitely shipping books out, and if you back Brand, I will ship you your book. You just gotta give me some time, because I'm the only one. There is no fulfillment center. It is just, I'm the fulfillment center. I'm the only one touching all these outside of when Kanan was here signing books. So I'm the only one here packing and shipping these books out. But I'm doing this, and then I'm having to, I'm packing them, I'm loading everything up, I'm having to drive it, and and doing other things, obviously doing things to try to earn a living, get bills paid and whatnot. But we're doing this thing. So
so Antonio, I got one for you.
Oh, okay.
Since I don't really know the entire script for the Fame book, if somebody's already gotten in on it and they like the Brand universe and whatnot, what are you gonna miss if you don't get your hands on the Fame book? You know what I mean? And I have no idea myself, but
okay. Well, let's talk about that, because I've had people, like I said, when we mentioned that, what was about 20 minutes ago or something, I've had some people that decided after we posted that cover that they were like, "Oh, damn, I didn't buy the Fame book. I just bought the regular Brand." And so now on the book, on the campaign, because we've got some new people that didn't back the first campaign, and I printed 3,900 copies of those. So I only have limited supply. So what we did is we're having Kanan drew a new cover, and that is going to be the second print cover for book one, and it's going to be incredible. I should have Danny. There's an Instagram colorist. He does like CGI pictures of different things, and he draws like Kobe Bryant and Michael B. Jordan, and he's one of those guys where he does these like cyber murals on Instagram. He's got like 40,000 people following him, and I sent him a DM and I go, "If I send you art that you didn't draw," because he was explaining like he'll draw a picture. He actually had a video up where he drew, I think it was after Kobe Bryant had passed away, and he drew Kobe Bryant, and then he went through the process of coloring it, and but that's him drawing his own lines and then coloring it. So I gave him Kanan's lines, and he's adding digital colors to that, and because I wanted other than that, I would have given it to you, but I wanted it to have a painted look. I wanted this new cover to have a painted look. So you can get the Hall of Fame pack, and it's going to have book one with the new cover. It's going to have the Ethan Van Sciver cover for Way of the Gun, and it's going to have the Fame book. It's all in there together, and I've noticed people are starting to take advantage of that. So if you haven't backed and you didn't back the first one, and now you're starting to want to back it, you can go, if you want to, that way you're not lost. You get everything. Get the book one, get book two, and the Fame book, and you'll read it. Now, if you like, okay, well, I already backed book one, and I just want to like maybe add the Fame book on, and you're on the fence on it. So like you can go to the campaign and pick what you want. You can pick, okay, well, I want Kanan She cover. So you pick Kanan She cover, and then you notice as you're checking out, you'll see the graphic of Fame. right there. You just click on that and you can add that on. What you're going to get with the Fame book is what was originally supposed to be the first 24 pages of Way of the Gun. The first 24 pages of Way of the Gun, when I wrote the original script, I actually had to cut all this stuff out because I realized, I was like, I just wrote like 24 pages of stuff and we don't have Dawn yet. I was like, we don't get Dawn until like the end. Dawn comes in on like page 22 or 23. So even and when I explained to Kanan what it was going to be, he thought it sounded cool. He was like, "Oh wow, so you're going to have, because we're going in the past and we're showing Fame before the Fame. We're showing what Fame's life was like before certain things happened." And so it's basically an origin story. It's going to kind of let you know how he started. And then the last pages will be set. The first pages are Wither right after Brand Book 1, and then the last pages are Wither, and boom, taking her to stuff that will happen in Way of the Gun, and then it will also show Fame, and like I said, Dawn will have a cameo right there at the end of the book. So Dawn will be in the Fame book, so it will tie in. You don't have to read the Fame book to understand Way of the Gun, but if you read the Fame book, it will tie everything together. So it's like there are, it's a side story. It's just based, what they call it? Was it supposition or exposition or whatever the hell it is? I think it's exposition. So it's just extra stuff that is not necessary for the enjoyment of the main story. But if you read the Fame book, you are going to be in for a treat. So those of you that have gotten the Hall of Fame pack or added it on, like you may not have wanted the Hall of Fame pack, or if you bought the mega pack, because we sold like 20 something of the mega packs, the mega pack automatically has the Fame book included. It has Ethan's cover, has the She cover, it has Rob Willis's cover, has Matthew Weldon's cover, has Demetrius's cover, and it has the 6th cover, which will be the theme for that will be David versus Dawn. That is going to be the cover for the one that is exclusive to the mega pack, and it comes with the Brand director's commentary for book 2. I meant to talk to you about doing that, Ikaris. I don't know. We can sit down and have you join us again, as you did. You did such a fantastic job of joining myself and Kanan when he was down here on the director's commentary for book 1. So I'd like to have you back on book 2 if you find. But I mean, we're a ways away from that. But I would love to have you back and do another one. So, yeah, the Fame book, like I said, you don't have to read it, but you'll miss some of the backstory if you don't read it, but it's not necessary. So if you just back book 1, you're like, I don't want the Fame book, I just want the main one. I respect that, and thank you for buying Way of the Gun. And but yeah, again, before I close this bad boy out, I want to show. Let me pull that cover back up. Yeah, so I want to show that cover again for people that may have missed it. This is Mr. Ikaris blessed me with these colors. And boom, there you go.
Bam.
Yeah, that is the cover for the Fame book, and love that. Look at that. Look at the detail on that bad boy. It's just, I love now this part right here. I love. You see the little like glowing demon head or whatever in the head of the pimp Kane there. I love that Kanan added that little touch in there, and then the gold. You got the gold grill shining. Look, I cannot tell you how happy I am with this cover. And then we've got the Fame logo. The Fame logo was done by Elliot Fernandez. So let me see. I don't know if I've shown that on the air. So let me see. Can I find that? Hopefully. There it is. Fame. And see, can I find? Aha. Hopefully this will show up on the air. And I always hate when this stuff has to load. There we go. Boom. So that's going to be the Fame logo as done by my buddy Elliot Fernandez. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. Elliot used to be a graphic designer. That used to be what he did for a living. He done some work for like Harley Davidson. He did some work for the NFL. He specifically worked on one of the teams I know he did for the NFL was the Tennessee Titans, that's my team, the Titans. So he did some work for the Tennessee Titans. But he's done, like I said, Harley Davidson. I think he said Nike and Levi's. They did a bunch of national brand, but yeah, he showed me some of his Harley Davidson work. He did a really good job. So that's going to be the Fame logo. And that'll go like right above the head there, right there on the top hat. So, but yeah, Ikaris, we're about to get out of here. Is there anything you would like to say in closing? I do thank you. You are my brother from another mother, and I appreciate you for giving me this time. I know you're busy, and I know I got you busy doing work for me. So, but I will give you some of the last words. I'm gonna run my mouth and we'll close it out and let everybody go back to this Sunday.
Sure thing. Yeah, anybody that hasn't gotten it, once you get it, you're going to like it once you open it. And I was kind of saying earlier, it's got a really slick cover, but it's not just the cover. It's not like one of the books where you get a sweet cover and the inside sucks.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them, you got 10 variants for interiors that aren't any good. You're going to get some sick covers, and then you're going to get some really, really, really good interiors inside as well that are up to par with the covers that are in there as well. Yeah. And anybody likes the coloring, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Can't do any of that stuff without the sick lines from Kanan, though. He's just teeing it up.
That's one thing I'm saying is I've kind of busted your balls a little over the last year or so. I've noticed that when people look at the book, they don't read it. They talk about how great the color. No, but that's what I get. They don't give a damn what it says or what the story is. They just go, "Oh, I love Kanan's art. Oh, I love the sick colors." I was like, "Did you actually read it?" I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna check it out. It's all about the visual. And I mean, I get it. That's one thing we always say. Comics is a visual medium. But I was like, read the book, man. Tell me what you think. I was
if you haven't read it, please read it.
Read it, yeah. But if you purchased it and just flipped through it and go, oh, it's beautiful, and then just sealed it back up, then I appreciate your support, obviously. But yes, I want you to read the book. I want I want you to actually read it, and hopefully enjoy it. But Way of the Gun is its first book was 52 pages. It was originally 48, and then we went to 52. But book one's 52 pages, and Way of the Gun is 60 pages, of a third of which are completed, which I am happy to say. We are working on the next 10 pages now, and very much looking forward to letting, especially you, Ikaris, I can explain more about what's going to happen off the air when we get off the air and let you know kind of the direction that I'm heading in, because I kind of know how I want to close it out now and set us up for book 3, which is, again, going to be called Rain. So it's like, yeah, we'll go brand Way of the Gun into brand Rain. And then book 4 will be called The Union. And that's where David and Dawn will actually get married. So we'll actually be caught up and be in the present, nigga. Because, we started in the past in book 1. So we'll be caught up by the time we get to The Union, they'll be married. And then everything will be going on, and we can just kind of go from there. But Ikaris, it has been a pleasure having you on, my friend. Thank you so much. I enjoy your work, and your work helps make me money. So I was like, when I posted your colors on the Fame book, I got a couple of very nice sales when people were like, whoa, that cover's dope. I want to get that. That, like I said, people that had passed on the Fame book originally, when they saw that cover, they were like, yo, how do I get that? Can I refund and I want to do my order over? And I was like, okay. So I had to, help a couple of backers, but I was happy to do that. Obviously, they want to give me more money. I'm not going to stop you from giving me more money. But Again, Ikaris, thank you. Thank you to all the people in the chat. As always, you know what it is. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, right here on this YouTube. All of the Card Press, cardpress.com takes you to Brand Way of the Gun, which I am doing with Kanan White and this man here, Kid Ikaris. We're on Teespring. We're on Amazon.com. Matter of fact, I'm going to people want that Fame logo. They want that Fame. I'm doing the Fame shirt, the Fame cover. I'm going to do that as a shirt. That'll be on Amazon. That'll be on Teespring, so you'll be able to get that. And also what you have there on your icon, Ikaris, the Rob Willis Dark Santana. That's going to be a shirt. So that is But again, thank you guys for hanging out. Hey. Till next time, we're out.
Thanks.